peeps, welcome back. This is Anna the nutritionist. It's been a hot minute since I sat down and talked to you guys about nutrition. So today I want to come to you with some tips to stay healthy with your diet when you are staying home. I trust that when this video comes out that most of the world is staying home, practicing social distancing in the hopes that the coronavirus situation will get contained as soon as possible. So I know that one challenge with anyone who is more health conscious, or maybe you're on a weight loss journey, that it is nerve-wracking to stay home because you're afraid of that temptation that you're gonna be snacking all the time or binge eating. So today I'm coming to you with my personal tips to avoiding all of that and staying on track. Now the first tip is to plan ahead of time and avoid decision fatigue. The number one reason why we choose to eat something unhealthy is because we were hungry and we left until the last minute to decide what we're gonna eat for that meal. And oftentimes we're gonna opt for things that are quick, that are simple, and that require very minimal effort on our end, which is ordering food deliveries or maybe making instant ramen. So in order to avoid that, one easy way is just to plan ahead. So I like to plan ahead at least one day in advance, which means tonight I'm gonna actually plan out what my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks are gonna be for tomorrow. That way I don't have to make the decision tomorrow and I will just need to eat what I've planned out, whether it is cooking or whether it is ordering food. Just make that decision ahead of time for yourself. You'll thank yourself later. The second tip is to set a schedule. Now it's not enough to only plan ahead what you eat, but also plan ahead what time you're gonna eat it. And that's the best way to actually avoid snacking or eating multiple meals that are unnecessary. I think for most people, our normal mealtime revolves around our work schedule, so it's very natural for us to eat at certain times of the day, and when we're busy at the office, we don't even think about food. But when you're staying at home in isolation, it's easy to just think about food 24/7 while you're just, 2 steps away from your fridge. So it's really important to give yourself a schedule of when is your lunch time window or dinner time window, and also snack windows, so that you have these allocated times and you know when you're gonna be eating next. And if you're just a little hungry, you can kind of see if you can wait until that next time, or maybe you need a different plan for tomorrow and the day ahead. My number 3 tip is to find alternatives to snacking. I think snacking for sure is the number one common enemy of everyone staying healthy and staying at home. So find alternatives to that. When you are tempted to snack, think about why are you feeling that temptation? Are you actually hungry? And if you're not hungry, then what is the solution that is not food, right? So that could be maybe boredom, maybe anxiety, maybe stress, or different reasons. So with boredom, for example, things you can do to stimulate your brain is reading a book, or watching a movie, a TV show, or even playing a console game. There's a lot of great console games now that are helping you to stay active at home. So do something that will get your mind off food and not be bored. Now, in the case that you are actually hungry and you want to eat something, then that goes back to my first tip, which is planning ahead. If you have already planned ahead some healthy snacks, then you can just enjoy those and carry on with your day. Next up, I want to give you a few tips in terms of stocking your pantry and also grocery shopping during this time. Depending on the situation, we might have a different level of access to groceries and food produces. So some of you might be unlucky and just don't have access to that at all. But for most of us, we're likely only limiting the times we go to the grocery stores. Maybe we're only going once or twice in a whole week instead of multiple times or every day. So in that case, I think a few tips will really help you out and make sure that you get everything you need in that grocery trip. So that leads to my fourth tip, which is to stock up on non-perishable groceries. Now, when I say stock up, I don't mean to stockpile. I think it's important that we all shop responsibly and only take what we need for the amount of time that we are seeing ourselves staying home. So for non-perishable goods, they can really stay on your shelf for months or even years. So these are really good to have available at your home, just so if anything happens, you don't have to starve yourself. So some really good options a lot of people are stocking up on are beans, legumes, grains, oats. All of these things provide great sources of fiber, and also they are really great carbohydrate sources that will keep you fueled throughout the day. For other fresh produce that are packaged, I would really recommend that you check the expiration date. Normally, I don't really pay that much attention to it, but with times like these, it's really important that you pick out things that can stay in your shelf a little longer just to be safe. So this will apply to things like dairy, cheese, your deli meats, yogurt, and everything that is packaged. In terms of fresh vegetables and fruits, some of it can also have a longer shelf life. For example, in vegetables, you can pick out root vegetables or chunkier vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower, zucchinis. They will definitely last you longer than things like baby spinach or a leafy salad mix. So have a good variety of these vegetables so that it can last you longer and you'll have vegetable supplies over the whole week. And for fruits, the easiest way is to pick a range of fruits that are just about ripe and also underripe. That way you can eat your ripe fruits first, and for the underripe ones, they will ripe over time and you can enjoy them maybe towards the end of the week. My number 5th tip relating to groceries is the option of freezing. You can buy store-bought frozen fruits, vegetables, or even meals if you want, but the other option is to take your fresh produce and freeze it yourself. So for example, you can freeze your bananas and you can easily use it for smoothies. You can also freeze raw meat to extend their shelf life. For example, raw chicken can only stay in the fridge for around 3 days max, but if you freeze it, it can stay in your freezer for up to a month or even longer, and you will just need to defrost it when you're ready to cook and eat it. You can also freeze your cooked meats. So for cooked meats, they can stay in your freezer for an even longer period of time, and because you've already cooked them, it makes it easier when you defrost and just directly consume it. Some stews also freeze really well, so if you make a big batch of stews or chili, you can also keep that frozen and just reheat it when you need it. That leads to my tip number 6, which is batch cooking. I don't know if you're like me, I love cooking, but I absolutely hate washing dishes. And if you're trying to stay healthy, chances are you're cooking all of your meals instead of trying to order delivery. So that means you're doing a lot of dishes, 3 or even 4 times a day, and I can't deal with that. So one way to avoid that and save you some time is to batch cook. You can cook multiple portions in one go, do the dishes in one go, and when you're ready to eat the next few portions, you can just reheat it from your fridge or your freezer. If you have been following me for a while, then you know that I'm a big fan of meal prepping, which is batch cooking in a sense, and I would bring these individual portions in lunch boxes to my office to eat. When you're staying at home, it's unnecessary to pack 10 lunch boxes in your fridge. So one option is to actually do a buffet style meal prep. That way you're prepping individual ingredients separately, keeping them in your fridge, and when you're ready for your next meal, you can just take out a little bit of everything and make it into a meal. That way you actually have more flexibility. You're not exactly eating the same thing every meal. You can have the option to have a little bit more of this and that for each of your individual meals. I posted an example of buffet style meal prep on my Instagram, so feel free to check that out as well, and follow my Instagram for more of these home cooking ideas that you can try. My last tip for you to staying healthy at home is to adjust your portions. Now, this specifically applies for anyone who is on a weight loss journey, body transformation journey, and you don't want to ruin all the progress that you already got. What you really want to do is to realistically evaluate your total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE, with your new situation, that is staying at home. For myself, I normally walk over 12,000 steps a day plus a workout session at the gym. But when we're unable to go out of our homes, our daily steps are likely only gonna be a few hundreds, and you can still do workouts at home, but your total daily energy expenditure is going to be a lot lower than your normal active lifestyle. So one important thing is to realistically evaluate this and take that into consideration when you are planning your meals and portion sizes. For some of you, you might need to consider sizing down your portions so that way you're not eating too much calories in a day and ruin the progress that you have. Of course, there are many more tips that can help you stay healthier when you're staying at home, but today I just want to focus on the diet side of things. So other things that can help you with fitness, with mental health, with time management and productivity, I'm sure you can find a lot of those tips online as well. I'm gonna link a few of my favorite tips videos in the description box below, and you can feel free to check them out as well. With that being said, I hope everyone is staying healthy and strong during this time. For those of you who are staying in countries that are heavily affected by the coronavirus, my wishes goes to you and your family, and we're all gonna get through this together. See you next time. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and press that notification bell button so you get notified each time I post a new video. Also follow me on Instagram at Anna the Nutritionist. That is where I post most frequently with my daily food and also workouts.